Alchemizing Karma. Part 1. The Anatomy of Karma. Karma is often reduced to a simplified moral system, cause and effect, action and reaction. Good actions yield good results. Bad actions bring consequences. But this is a child's understanding of a law whose roots are far more intricate and mystical. Karma is the momentum of consciousness itself. It is memory, emotional, energetic, cellular, ancestral, and soul-level memory that seeks expression and resolution. It is not simply about what we have done, but what we have carried, what we have absorbed, what we have resisted, and what we have yet to understand. Karma is the echo of choice reverberating through time, through lifetimes, through lineage and form. Most karma is unconscious. It exists not in isolated incidents, but in patterns, compulsions, fears, desires, addictions, relationships, repeated traumas, and the internal narratives we cling to. These patterns are not accidents. They are invitations. Invitations to become aware, to re-enter the loop with new awareness, to bring the light of presence to the shadows of repetition. Part 2. The Myth of Punishment. Karma is not a punishment system. That idea was seeded by frightened minds who projected human morality onto the workings of the cosmos. But the universe is not punitive, it is pedagogical. It teaches through reflection. It mirrors back to us what we most need to see, not to humiliate or diminish us, but to awaken and mature us. Pain is not a cosmic verdict, it is a signal. When karma unfolds as difficulty, it is because some part of our consciousness has been frozen in time, trapped in fear, grief, ignorance, or unconsciousness. The suffering persists not because we are bad, but because the lesson remains unintegrated. To alchemize karma, then, is not to cancel it, but to absorb it fully, to metabolize it with compassion and insight. The moment we stop running from our karma and start studying it, it begins to dissolve, not into nothingness, but into understanding. Part 3. Awareness as Fire. Alchemy requires fire. In the spiritual sense, that fire is awareness, lucid, non-reactive, penetrating awareness, not mere mental observation, but deep soul-seeing, awareness that says, I am willing to witness my inner life without judgment. Karma survives only in the absence of awareness. As soon as we become aware of a pattern, truly aware, not just intellectually but somatically and emotionally, it begins to lose its unconscious grip. The spell starts to break. The light of presence enters the dark room of the psyche, and the shadows that seemed so ominous are revealed to be misunderstood memories. This is not easy. Awareness hurts. It requires honesty, vulnerability, and a willingness to feel what we have long numbed. But it is precisely through that process that we reclaim agency. The difference between being a victim of karma and a master of it is the willingness to stay present through discomfort. Part 4. The Sacred Pause. One of the most powerful tools for karmic alchemy is the sacred pause, the ability to stop and become still in the moment of reaction. Karma is often triggered in our reactivity, a sharp word, a quick judgment, an old defense mechanism, a craving, a withdrawal. These are not flaws, they are footprints, signs that karma is moving through us. In that moment, when we are about to act from habit or fear, we are given a choice, to repeat or to see. If we pause just for a breath, we create a space wide enough for transformation to occur. In that space, we can ask, what is this pain trying to protect? What is this reaction hiding? What is really being asked of me right now? With practice, this pause becomes a ritual, a threshold between reaction and response, between unconsciousness and wisdom, between the past and the possibility of freedom. Part 5. The Body Remembers. Karma does not live in the abstract, it lives in the body. We carry unresolved karma in our breath, our nervous systems, our muscles, our postures. Trauma lodges itself in the hips, the jaw, the belly. Emotional repression stiffens the spine. The shoulders curl in to protect the heart. The chest tightens to prevent grief from surfacing. To alchemize karma, we must include the body in our awakening. This is why practices like yoga, breathwork, somatic therapy, and intuitive movement are so potent, not as exercise, but as vehicles of karmic release. The body speaks in sensation. When we bring gentle, curious awareness to those sensations, without analysis or judgment, we begin to release karma at the level where it is stored. Sometimes we don't need to understand a karmic pattern intellectually. We need to sob, shake, scream, stretch, or sleep. The body's wisdom is ancient. Trust it. Part 6. From Story to Soul. Another layer of karmic alchemy involves relinquishing the stories we tell ourselves. Every karmic imprint is tethered to a story. I'm not lovable. People always leave. I must prove myself to be safe. These stories feel true because they were once survival strategies, but now they are prisons. The ego survives through story, but the soul lives through presence. Alchemizing karma means challenging the narrative structure of our lives. It means asking, what if this story is not true? What if I am not the victim or the villain? What if I am neither broken nor superior? What if this moment is simply here for my liberation? When we begin to loosen the grip of story, we enter soul space. In soul space, even our deepest pain becomes sacred. Even betrayal becomes initiation. Even loss becomes a portal. Part 7. Karma and Dharma. The ultimate transmutation of karma is the flowering of Dharma. Dharma is not merely a job, role, or title. It is the unique frequency of consciousness that you came to embody and express in this life. It is your soul's signature vibration made manifest in form. Often, our deepest karmic wounds are the soil from which our Dharma grows. The healer is born from illness, the teacher from confusion, the artist from chaos, the guide from darkness. This is not romanticization, it is recognition. Karma doesn't just bind us, it also points us toward our gifts. When we stop resisting our pain and begin learning from it, it often reveals the very medicine we came here to offer. Thus, alchemizing karma is not just about personal liberation. It is about becoming a conduit for grace, a vessel for higher purpose, a servant of truth. Part 8. Ancestral Alchemy. Not all karma is personal. We inherit energy from our bloodlines, beliefs, behaviors, traumas, and dreams that were never fully lived. Much of what we carry did not begin with us, but it asks to end with us. To alchemize ancestral karma is to become a conscious link in the generational chain. It is to grieve what your ancestors could not grieve, to forgive what they could not forgive, to bless what they forgot to bless. This is not just about healing the past. It is about freeing the future. When we do this work, we liberate our lineage. We shift the frequency of the river running through our family tree. In this way, karmic alchemy becomes sacred activism. Inner work becomes world work. By transforming ourselves, we change the very blueprint of human consciousness. Part 9. The Role of Relationships. Nothing activates karma like intimacy. Relationships are karmic mirrors. They reflect our shadows, our projections, our unmet needs, our soul contracts. We are drawn to people not by accident, but by magnetic resonance. There is always something being worked out beneath the surface, sometimes love, sometimes abandonment, sometimes reparation. To alchemize karma through relationship means resisting the urge to blame and instead embracing the lesson. Why am I triggered? What am I reenacting? What is this person showing me about myself? But it also means boundaries. Karmic relationships are not meant to be endured indefinitely. Some are here to awaken us through friction, not to fulfill us through foreverness. The goal is not to fix others, but to free ourselves. Part 10. Grace, the hidden ingredient. At the heart of karmic alchemy is grace. No amount of effort alone can transmute karma. Grace is the mysterious element that enters when we surrender, not in defeat, but in devotion. When we say, I don't know how to do this, but I am willing to be changed, grace responds. Grace is not something we earn, it is something we open to. It comes through stillness, through humility, through moments of awe, beauty, prayer, or heartbreak. It arrives like rain on parched ground, unexpected, uncontrollable, undeniable. Grace does not erase karma, but it speeds its resolution. It softens us enough to let go. It blesses us with glimpses of truth that dissolve lifetimes of illusion in a breath. XI. Living as the alchemist. To alchemize karma is not to escape life, but to enter it more deeply, to meet each moment as sacred, to see challenges not as punishments, but as portals, to walk through this world not as a victim of fate, but as a conscious co-creator of destiny. The alchemist is not free from pain, but they are free in pain. They do not fear darkness, because they know the gold is buried there. This is the new spiritual path, not one of escape or perfection, but of courageous embodiment, of radical presence, of deep inner alchemy that ripples outward into collective awakening. You are not here to endlessly repeat what you've inherited. You are here to remember what is eternal within you, to transmute shadow into light, to return again and again to the knowing that everything is workable. This is the great work, the alchemy of karma into consciousness. And you are the philosopher's stone.